involved in morally unacceptable things, perhaps I should back out of supporting them. That wouldn't be easy, but it might be consistent with my position. I'd ring Holloway and see if he could take me out to see them. I said the Lord's Prayer, made the sign of the cross, and got up and went through to the study. Brenda, I buzzed, can you get me Canon Holloway on the phone, please? Very good, Bishop. 10 minutes later, the phone rang and I stretched out to pick up the receiver. Lee, hello, Bishop Rupert here. Yes, hello, how are you? And to what do I owe this phone call? Have I done something wrong? No, of course not. I wanted to ask if I could come over to see you. There are 2 or 3 things I need to discuss with you. My diary's not too full at the moment. Everyone's taking a break after the festival. It gives me a bit of time for reflection at last. Is there a day, say next week, when I could come over? Why, yes, of course. My day off is Monday and yours, if I remembered all right, is Friday. So what about next week? Midweek. I could do Wednesday. Any good? Perfect. I'll ask Jane to put the kettle on. See you then about 11 a.m. And could you stay till lunch? Think of it as a pastoral visit. And could we go out to Upton Farm? I'd like to make my peace with that girl, and it'd be interesting to know more about the agricultural work of the diocese. Do you think they'll be willing to show us around? I can't see why not. I'll ask them. The day of my visit arrived quietly, sunny for early January. Lee hadn't yet replied to my letter. Maybe he thought that was what I wanted to talk about. We sat in his garden room looking out over the fields. Lee, I began as we sipped our coffee, I have been meaning to ask you further about the idea of your preferment. I thought that might be it, he replied at once. I'm sorry I haven't got back to you about that. I didn't really know what to say. Of course, it's the traditional thing to say, nullo episcopari, but then I really don't think that's for me anyway. After coping with the cathedral and your predecessor, I have to admit that I'm much happier out here in my villages. I mean, just look at the view. Agricultural land waiting to spring into life, to feed the nation, and field margins for animals to live in. Ancient woodland and the coast not far away. What could be better than that? And as I get to know the people round here, I feel a sense of commitment to them. They've been given to me to care for, and I couldn't honestly give it all up after such a short time to go off somewhere else, where we don't know anyone. I couldn't do it. You do see that, don't you? Hello, viewers. Lee, that's exactly why I think you are the right man for such an appointment. You have a pastoral heart as well as relevant practical experience. But if that's what you really wish, so be it. As it happens, there's something I wanted to ask you about, seeing as you're here. Oh yes, and what was that? The bakers. I came with them to see you the other day about that inherited silverware, or what they claimed was inherited. Yes, I remember it well. They contacted me just last week to say they discussed it and agreed that I should go ahead and sell it to use the proceedings for the good of the diocese. I was to send it for sale somewhere and let them know how I got on. The Clinic by Paul G. Brett. They were off back to Australia at the weekend. Hello, viewers. Well, that's good news, I'd say, but what have you done about the Lord Lieutenant? I beg your pardon. Please sub me, viewers. Yes, about Sir Thomas. There was a strong suspicion that he was involved in the thing, that it was he who had sent the epigene for auction, and whether there was really 2 such objects or not. Have you been able to sort that out? Well, that's all quite a mystery, but the bakers were happy with the outcome we discussed. So that would seem to be the end of the matter. I can't see them arguing with the auction people again. But the story about the involvement of Sir Thomas, what about that? I guess that's another conspiracy theory. It's too easy for people to invent stories for which there's no real evidence. But my informant was pretty sure there was a connection, and I felt inclined to trust her. Her or him, or should I have said them? Got to be gender neutral these days. The Clinic by Paul G. Brett. Hi, hello, buddy. I managed to avoid answering that one. After lunch, we set off for the farm. They seemed at first a bit fazed by the idea of a visit from the bishop, even though I'd come from an open neck shirt instead of my collar. But I tried to be in the most relaxed and unthreatening mood, and they soon came to regard my visit as just what I'd claimed. Thank you, viewers. An attempt to learn more about farming in the diocese. This is where we keep the cattle, Jim said as he took us look us round. They're out in the fields most of the time, but we bring 'em in for milking and we use the traditional ways. We sell most of our milk to the supermarkets, but we keep some for locals to fill their cans with. Unpasteurized at best, I think. Enjoy. And can you make a living? What with the price of milk in all the shops being so low? Just about. That's provided there's no problems, foot and mouth or things like that. We had that a couple of years ago and lost all our cattle. Good. It affects the sheep too. It were a disaster, but the government compensated us for it. Otherwise, it would have been the end for us. Do you know what caused that disease? Well, they said it was a virus. It got into the cells and into the blood and spread everywhere. It may have started in the pigs, but we didn't have any of them. Bit of luck, really, but it didn't stop us being infected and the other farms round here. Can anyone be done about this, do you know? Not from what I understand about it all, really. They've got scientists investigating it. I think they can produce some sort of vaccine, though I've heard it doesn't always work as the virus is a tricky thing, changing its shape half the time. Oh, sorry, my lord, shouldn't use a word like that, should I? No, don't worry at all. I want to hear it like it is. The Clinic by Paul G. Brett. Anyway, we're going along okay now. Those small farms like us are having a rough time of things these days. The big boys are doing it on such a scale we can't really compete. We'll have to think up other ways of using the land. Some of my friends we meet up regularly we do in our local. They're thinking about making it a caravan park or getting groups of children from the schools to come and learn about where their food comes from. And visitors could come too and have a go at herding the cattle or helping put the sheep through the wash. Got to find ways to survive, we have. The Clinic by Paul G. Brett. Please sub me if you like it. That's all very fascinating. You're obviously full of imagination. It's clear to me that the future of our farms is in good hands. If they're all like you. Thank you, sir. I must bring some people from the office to learn about all this sometime. Come along and see where we keep the sheep. They live outside all the time, except when we bring 'em in for shearing. I don't do that myself. We've got a chap who's an expert. He can do them ever so quick, and the money we get for the wool ain't that bad. And there's the meat as well. I'm going to try and read for 10 minutes. And did I see some chickens in the yard as we came through? Yes, we've got a few. We sell eggs at the gate, free range, not like the ones you get in the supermarkets. They call them free range when they're not fully outside. Ours are genuine and they taste better too. You could have some if you like. Oh, that'd be very kind, thank you. Yes, I am. Please sub me. Don't mention, got to keep on the right side of God. I ignored that sly comment and turned to other concerns. Now there's another thing I've heard about. I've been told that they want to drive a motorway through some parts of the county. Do you know about that? We do, sure. It's the devil. I've seen plans in that exhibition to put one right through our land. It'd be curtains for farmers like us. Except that owners get compensation. Thank you, viewers. All right for them, but we couldn't carry on like that. We've got to have a secure future for our kids and everything. The Clinic by Paul G. Brett. Hope you enjoyed it. Please sub me.